This is Gilbert Andrew Garcia with a tip from Gilbert. Talk, inspiration, and prayer. Listen to my show every Monday from 11 to 12 on KWWJ 1360 AM, KYOK 1140 AM, KCOH at 1230 KCOH.com, Sankey Radio at 95.1 FM, 1460 AM, and Latino Sports, KEYH 850 AM.
Call in at 832-570-8075 and follow me on social media. See you then.
All right, Houston, Harris County, this is Gilbert Garcia with another tip from me. Talk, inspiration, and prayer. Thank you very much for being on the show. Mr. Paul Puente. Paul, welcome for the show again. I really love having you here because we're a good yin and yang, and you can be Batman and I'll be Robin.
Oh, no, he'll be Batman.
No, you're Batman. You're Batman. No, you're Batman. That's okay, Batman. No, and this is, we're kind of coming up to Veterans Day.
Yes, sir.
And we're going to talk a little bit about what the GI Bill meant to the union movement.
Yes.
Because that's such an important thing. And, of course, everybody is talking about two things, and I'm not sure which is more important, but we're talking about the Texans winning.
Yes.
And that comeback win.
Oh, my God, that was a great game.
I think that that comeback win was huge and exciting. And so, maybe we're not out. I don't know. Maybe we're not out of the playoffs.
We're in the hunt for sure.
I think we are, especially if you believe, you got to believe. If you believe, it can happen.
That's right.
We already have a caller real quick. I see it's Representative Rosenthal. Mr. John Rosenthal, are you there?
I'm here.
Representative, how are you? You got me, and of course, you've got the Executive Secretary of the Building Trades, which is Paul Puente.
What's up, buddy?
Oh, how are you,
Good to see you again.
Tell us again, Representative, you are running for, tell us.
Okay, so I should frame this by saying I'm running to be one of the three commissioners on the Texas Oil and Gas Commission. But it's Texas, so it's called the Railroad Commission. So go figure. It has nothing to do with trains. It's all about regulating the oil and gas industry in Texas. And I'm a 30-year career oil field engineer. So
awesome.
I know a little something about oil and gas business and oil and gas industry.
You know what? That probably makes you one of the most qualified people to ever run.
Oh, yeah.
Because you really know the stuff. And what's interesting about that is you have no conflicts.
That's right.
Talk to us about what's going on there, because I don't think enough people know what goes on where you have people that are essentially regulating themselves. But tell us about that.
Oh, it's all three of the commissioners make their money in the industry, so they're supposed to be regulating themselves. The one that I'm going to be going against actually has a pollution company, waste management company. So he's supposed to be regulating himself. How do you think that's going?
You know what? That's unbelievable, though. Yeah. And I bet you, number one, the people don't know what the Railroad Commission does. Because when you hear that term, you just think somehow we're regulating the railroads. And when you hear about it's oil and gas, I bet enough people don't realize some of the conflicts that exist. Hopefully that will be an issue, and that will be brought up by the media and hopefully by you. Now, I know that you want to run a very positive campaign, et cetera, but I just think that people ought to know.
I agree with you. People should know that. And then when we think about Railroad Commission, or let's think about it as the Texas Energy Commission, Oil and Gas Commission, the things to connect, I think, are the fact that this was at the heart of what caused everybody's power to go out during a winter storm. So if you froze your butt off in your own house during a winter storm in this state, if you can believe when the governor gets on TV and says all of that is fixed, it's not. And the reason it's not is because the Railroad Commission refuses to regulate the oil and gas industry, specifically natural gas delivery, because that's how we get most of our electricity in this state, from burning natural gas to fire turbines. So that's the first piece. And then the second piece is, because of that, all of our electric bills have just gotten out of control here. Part of that is the regulation, but part is we're paying off a debt from that winter storm of $9 billion. So it's a failure of government. The whole thing is, and if you want someone who can keep the lights on in this state. I know how to do it. It's literally my job.
Amen. Well, let me ask you this. Tell me if I'm wrong, because I could have sworn that people think of Texas as being one of the leaders in wind energy. Is that true?
We make
Wind
more
power?
wind energy in this state. Yes. We are a leader, and we are the leader in the United States of America. Maybe it's just because we got a lot of hot air in Texas. I don't know.
But
The truth is we have a lot of land and a lot of place to develop it. And that needs to be a key factor in how we grow our energy portfolio. So we need all the energy we can get in this state. With the population moving in and the new industry demands and the data centers and the AI and all that stuff, we need to double our output in the next 10 years. We haven't started a new gas-fired electrical generation plant in over 20 years. So that electricity needs to come from somewhere. We need all of it.
wow. Well, let me ask you this. Does the Railroad Commission regulate the wind power as well?
It does not.
Okay.
So we do need strong voices to make sure that our governor and our legislature encourages development of all of the different kinds of energy. It's the Railroad Commission does not regulate that, but it would regulate, let's say, portions of the hydrogen energy, portions of the geothermal energy. A lot of that, because drilling and mining does fall under the purview.
Understood. Well, let me ask you one more question here. Now, for you to run, does that mean that you're not able to run for state rep?
That's correct. So you can't appear on the ballot twice. I'm leaving the legislature to run for this. I've endorsed Otis Evagaru for the House District 135 seat. He's a good guy, my former chief of staff, the former Harris County Democratic Party chair, and a child of the district. He literally grew up here.
Very good. Well, I'm going to give you last minute. Any other word? Why don't you give us your website and everything else so people can get more information about you?
Absolutely. So people can go to johnrosenthaltx.com. It's just Google Jon and Rosenthal, ROSENTHAL, and you'll find my website with all the information on it. If you want someone who will be laser focused on the actual issues of making sure the lights stay on in Texas and making sure that we put a halt to the massive out of control cost of electricity in this state, Railroad Commission is where it's at.
Well, Representative, thank you so much for calling and being on the air, and I hope you call in again.
I will certainly do that, and thank you so much for having me on today. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much. That's Representative John Rosenthal. Of course, he's now running for the Railroad Commission, which is really the Energy Commission. Go figure that. You know what? I have so much to talk to you about, but you have a lot of callers still.
Oh.
There were two more callers there. Was there a junior, I think?
Hey, Gilbert, you all right today?
Junior, I am good, my friend. I got Mr. Paul Puente, who's the Executive Secretary of the Building Trades, and we're going to talk a little bit about collective bargaining, what the union movement has done, what it's done for his family, what it's done for other families. But what do you have for us?
Okay, yeah, I don't want to mess up y'all flow, man, so I'll get to what I talk to you about briefly, real briefly.
Yes, sir.
First of all, thank you for supporting financially KCOH and KWWJ. You put your money where your mouth is. And if you would ever run for a political office, because I did vote for you for mayor. So if you ran for the 18th district, I'd vote for you because you don't just talk.
You know, I'm hugging on the phone right now. Thank you for that, Junior. But what else do you got for us, pal? I appreciate that very much.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're welcome. Real briefly, Saturday morning, I worked out, over here in my neighborhood, and I seen a group of men, living behind a dumpster. They were nice guys. I chatted up with them a little bit, and you could tell they were struggling. And then Sunday morning, I seen a lady. She was sleeping in between two buildings. It was like 6 o'clock in the morning. And in my mind, I was saying the richest country in the world and you got homeless people just sleeping on the streets every night. And Gilbert, I don't promote violence. I'm totally against violence. But Patrick Henry said, "Give me liberty or give me death."
Mm-hmm.
Now, we all know what happened on January 6, 2021, when they stormed the Capitol. Is it going to take a group of us law-abiding, good-hearted people who just sick and tired, like Fannie Lou Hamer said, we sick and tired of being sick and tired? Is it going to take just thousands of Americans just to bum rush the Capitol to tell Donald Trump, say, man, you better do something quick, man, because I'm tired of going to work every day not getting paid, and I'm getting tired of y'all not working out a deal to end this SNAP benefit so I can feed me and my 4 kids. I'll get your response, Gilbert, and thank you for taking my call, and keep up the great work.
Junior, thank you so much. You know, it's just unfathomable to me that in this country we have so much homeless and so many issues. Our veterans need help. And that's where, when you think about today's show and our guests, in many ways, the power of the unions and the power of collective bargaining and people coming together, that's really what it's all about. What to give people life skills so they can then not only move to the middle class, but bring their whole family up for generations. It's a life-changing thing what the union movement has done. And people forget, Paul, and I'm going to answer more about the question. People forget that it's the unions that brought child labor laws. Yes. It's the unions that brought things like 5-day work week, health benefits. If it weren't for the unions, we wouldn't have any of those things. Social Security, we wouldn't have any of those things. Yeah. And I believe that young people don't know. And when I sometimes hear that in a lot of the union movement, a lot of young people really aren't getting involved, I'm like, golly, you got to know your history and why you have that. So going back to Junior's comments, it is unbelievable to me. And of course, another thing I was going to say, so let's go say it now, is I understand that there may be a deal, and they're just now starting the beginning of the deal, to open up the government again. And it's amazing when I hear that, number one, the whole reason for the shutdown was about extending the Obama subsidies on the health care. Well, that was not part of this deal. It's kind of like, well, then what was it all about? Because that was really what I thought was the main issue. And I'm just reading an article. So this is not Gilbert Garcia talking, but I'm going to read an article on Friday, I believe. And if I'm saying anything wrong, please fact check me, because I don't mean to be incorrect. But if I'm not mistaken, there were 700 flights that were canceled. And then over the weekend, there were 1,000. Well, I'm reading right now more than 1,600 flights have been canceled here today. Wow. 1,600. Now, I don't know what that means for how many flights there are in a day, but if every plane has, I'm just going to say 50 people. Yeah. Now, it's got to be more than that. But if it's just 50 people, that's like 80,000 people that just all of a sudden they got to find another way to either go on their business trip or go home or whatever they're trying to do. And my hunch is there's more than 50 people per plane. And I flew home from Chicago. I was there for Parents Weekend to see my daughter and everything else. And one of the things that was the big talk for all the parents was, how can I make sure I get home? Because, you know, people were getting their flights canceled. Right. So we moved our flight up from Sunday to Saturday just because we were scared and to make sure. And you know what? We were delayed almost 2 hours, but thank God we got home. Yeah. And it's interesting that Donald Trump is saying to the air traffic controllers, get back to work now. Yeah. But you know what? What he's not getting is they're already stretched thin. Yeah. I mean, God bless them. They've been working for no pay for probably 2 payrolls, which is essentially a whole month, and they've been working longer hours. And being an air traffic controller is probably one of the most stressful jobs out there. So it's not so like get back to work like they just want to slack off. No, these are patriots to be coming to work and not getting paid. That's right. What do you think about that?
I think it's a travesty that, people's lives are used as a pawn in the game of politics.
Isn't it?
It is terrible.
And when back to Junior about the snack benefits, SNAP is what they used to call food stamps.
Right.
And so many people are food insecure. In other words, I don't know if that's the right word. That's where they just don't have enough food to eat. And so I think it is critical that those SNAP benefits stay in place. These are people who are on the brink. And in this country, when we've been telling them we're going to take care of them, we need to follow through.
Absolutely.
We got to follow through. My goodness. So let's go on. Hopefully I answered your question a little bit there, Junior, but it's just hard for me to fathom. And how wonderful for you to go try to, give them some conversation, support, and everything else. And I know Houston's trying to do a lot in the regard of homelessness, so it's not for lack of trying.
And I know the food bank is out there working. This past Saturday, the IBW did a.
Oh, is that right?
They were helping out the food bank, and they had a lot of volunteers out there. So to give a lot of folks that were in need of that did not receive their SNAP benefits, they were out there helping the food bank give it to some of these families.
How great for our union brothers and sisters.
Yes.
You know what? When people say things like, oh, and they're heartless, oh, they don't need to do that, they can work or this and that. I have done many of these turkey giveaways.
Oh, yeah.
Many. And I've been there, the George R. Brown for Thanksgiving and serving. I've done all those things. And when you see people, and I've done food giveaways with Representative Christina Morales and Mary Ann Pettis. We've done some of those where I worked with them, and I had my firm there, et cetera. When you see cars that are lined up for a couple of hours to get groceries, let me tell you, it's real. This real. Isn't about, oh, they're slacking. No, it's real. So as those who don't, know that, all you got to do is go to one of these and see their gratitude and the tears of joy in their eye, because you just make their day, their week, their Thanksgiving, their Christmas. It's really, it feels good to be helping. It really does.
Right. But it also, it also kind of explains some of the issues that we're seeing on a day-to-day basis, where folks need an opportunity for a career, for some type of support, because that's all we're doing is we're just kind of. We need to find a solution.
That's right. We're Band-Aiding.
We're Band-Aiding.
It's a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'll say that. It's a kind of a Band-Aid. I want to get to a lot of stuff with you, but first we got another caller. Awesome. I don't want them to be waiting. This is Robert Campbell. Robert, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Gilbert. How you doing?
I'm doing okay, Robert. You got me, Gilbert Garcia, with a tip from me, with Mr. Paul Puente, who is the General Secretary for the Building Trades. And what do you got for us, Mr. Campbell?
Well, you sent me on a homework assignment, and I had to call in and give you a report. The information, the topic that you guys are talking about today is very, very important.
Yes.
I don't want to come in and act like it's not even happening. Just to comment on what you guys are talking about, it's very good, but if you could stretch your imagination into reality and think about those people who don't have transportation,
Mm-hmm.
they can't get in line to get the food. I have a neighbor that can't see well. She's a senior citizen, and she's asking people, could they take a couple of hours out of their day to go help her pick up groceries.
Wow.
So just to think about those people who use the Metro lift, who don't have transportation, but also need the assistance with food. They're the missing ones. They're the missing link in the chain.
Well, I appreciate that, because, I'm going to be having a whole show on Metro. I'm going to try to get Mr. Dwight Jefferson, who was on the Metro board with me. He's a former judge, because, I'm seeing Metro doing things like spending money on road repair and those sorts of things. That's just the city pushing their responsibility off to Metro, instead of Metro doing what it's supposed to do, which is invest in transit infrastructure. And when I was on the board, we had reduced the general mobility. And of course, I'll go into all of this at that show, where essentially we were getting more money, which was originally taken away during the Mayor Lanier administration. We were getting more money back to Metro. And then that was extended under Chairman or Chairwoman Karen Patman. And it was supposed to be for more transit. to connect the line, meaning the bus rapid transit with the rail line, to expand park and rides, bus service, etc. And instead, they're using it to do the road repair that the city of Houston should be doing it. So, transit is vital, and you just brought it up. It's those that are the least, that are most in need in our community. So I really appreciate you bringing up transit, because it is part of the equation of upward mobility and things like securing benefits that are due to them. You got to have transit, or we're just nowhere. But I didn't mean to cut you off there, Mr. Campbell.
No, absolutely. That's good information. So a couple of shows ago, I called in where people were putting orange cones in trash cans in front of their homes.
Yes.
To stop people parking on their street to go to a coffee shop. Well, I told you I was going to go down to city council. Well, I didn't have to, because District C, I can't pronounce her name.
Abby Kamen.
Yes.
Yes.
She got involved, and Twyla Carter from At Large 3
Right.
got involved, and they had the police go out, and they had the waste management go out, because they was using their trash cans. Also, they just would not remove their trash cans from the curb, and that was something I did not know, that it's against city ordinance to leave the trash can out when it's not trash day. So they went out, they talked to the residents moved the cones, and city council worked, At Large worked, and I have to say that At Large positions are just as important as the city council position, because I think they're a little more powerful, because they are not limited to where they can work. They can work anywhere in the city. So I just wanted to give accolades to those two offices, and let people know.
Let's give it up for Mr. Campbell. I remember you vividly now, because I remember this topic, and you know what? That is such a good example of good government, when you have elected officials hear concerns that are correctable, fixable, and they got involved, rolled up their sleeve, and went to talk to the residents. I think that's fantastic. And, I understand their concern, but ultimately, parking on the street is a right that all citizens have.
Yes, sir.
It's just their right. And, it all goes back to, the lack of zoning in this city, because it's the zoning that's really the issue. Because if you don't have any zoning, then you can have business establishments right by neighborhoods, right by churches, right by schools, right by undesirable. I'm just going to say liquor store or adult entertainment things. I mean, that's the whole point of having zoning, to make sure things can all work and in a planned way. And so I really appreciate you, Mr. Campbell, for bringing that to our attention, and for bringing to our attention the great work of Abby Kamen and Miss Twyla Carter. I know Abby Kamen well. She's my council person. I don't know Miss Carter, but I'll have to get her on the show. Do you know her by any chance?
I do know her, but I don't know her the way I know Abby.
Abby, she's everywhere.
She's everywhere. She's done great.
And your point is well taken, which is it's great when you have the freedom of being at large, of course, with freedom. And what is that Spider-Man saying? With great freedom comes great responsibility, or something like that. Spider-Man. I don't know if it's from the Bible or Spider-Man.
It's Spider-Man.
But at the end of the day, I understand where
great power.
Yeah, great power. Where at the end of the day, by being at large, you can pick your lanes. You can really pick, I want to be this. I remember Steve Costello, who's another great past council person, really picked up the whole thing about food deserts, that there weren't enough grocery stores and sort of communities of color, et cetera. Yeah. But they can really pick their lane and make a huge impact. So, Mr. Campbell, thank you for that. I'm going to give you the last word. Anything else you want to add?
Yes, you should try to get Ms. Carter on. I met her when she was the assistant to the owner for the Astros.
Oh,
and,
wonderful!
She worked with the Astros Foundation, helping all types of people in need. She's a great person, and I think she would be a great guest on the show.
I'm going to reach out to her. So thank you so much for that, Mr. Campbell, and hopefully you'll call in again. And you know what? You're on the spot, man. Anytime you see something else, come to the show and let's talk about it.
Sure will. Thank you so much, Gilbert.
Thank you, my friend. I'm going to come back to something because we're going to be celebrating Veterans Day. And one of the things that really changed so much for society at large and really was a pathway to the middle class for so many people was a GI Bill. And I remember vividly that what it did for my grandfather, who was a Marine in World War II.
Today's their birthday.
Oh, is that right?
Today is the Marine's birthday.
No kidding.
Yes, sir.
Talk a little bit about, though, we all know about veterans and what the federal government does to support veterans. And one of my good friends, I won't mention her name because I know that you can't really talk too much about,
Sure.
some of the federal people in the government. But at the end of the day, she tells me all about the great work that they do with veterans. What has it meant for the union movement, though? Tell us and connect that dot for us.
Yeah, so a lot of these young men and women that transition out of the military life and become veterans, a lot of times they've been told what to do, how to do.
Bring your mark just up a teeny bit. Go ahead,
all
please.
these things. They've told them exactly how to structure their life. And when they get out, they don't necessarily understand what to do because a lot of them went in when they were young.
Mm-hmm.
They were, in their 17, 18 years old. By the time they get out, they're still young, but they're structured. They have discipline.
Mm-hmm.
They have motivation. And those are some of the traits that we're looking for in the building and construction trades. So it has been great to have those individuals become part of our organization. The problem is that they don't know that we exist. A lot of people don't know that we exist, especially here in Texas. This is more of an anti-union than there's a ton of unions in Texas, especially here in the Houston Gulf Coast region. And those individuals that come from the military expect a certain type of livelihood.
Mm-hmm.
They're making good money, and then when they get out, they're trying to find something similar to what they were doing.
What am I going to do now?
What am I going to do
That's
now?
right.
Exactly. And so our apprenticeship programs align very well. Just almost we have a program called the Helmets to Hard Hat program that takes those veterans and puts them into our apprenticeship programs.
And just do me a favor for everyone listening and for my benefit.
Sure.
The apprenticeship programs. What are all the tracks? Is it electricians?
Yes.
Is it, just go through what are some of the tracks.
So I come out of the electrical union.
Right.
I'm an electrician by trade. My son's an electrician. My daughter's in the pipe fitters. So there's pipe fitters, which teaches HVAC. There's plumbers. There's sheet metal workers. There's elevator constructors. There's operating engineers, the crane operators.
Mm-hmm.
You also have the insulators that insulate all of the piping.
And all of this comes through the building trades?
All of this comes through the building trades. So the building trades is an organization that brings all of those trades together.
I see.
Right? Like we work at NASA right now. We work at NASA, and all of these trades are out there under the umbrella of a contractor. Same thing at the nuclear power plant. We work at the nuclear power plant. We maintain it. We do outages. We have a great tripartite partnership with the owner, the contractor, and the labor unions communicate all together. We've had 0 accidents. We've had 0 mistakes out there, and which is marketable, right? At the same time,
that's like never happens.
Never happens. Never happens. And the skill level there with all the unions is extremely high because they have on-the-job and classroom training at the same time. So we don't accept anyone into our apprenticeship unless we have a job for them.
Well, let's go through it if you don't mind.
Sure.
Pretend I am a high school senior,
Right.
and explain to me how it works. In other words, I assume you have to have a high school degree, or
You
no?
have to have one,
Okay.
yes.
So let's say I graduate.
You graduate.
And then how does it go, and how does the training work, and then at what point do they start accruing, I don't know the right word, but pay, vacation, all those sorts of things. Let's go through the whole thing.
Yeah, let's. So the first thing you do is you have to have a high school diploma.
Okay.
Or GD.
Okay.
If you have a high school diploma, you have to get a transcript. The transcript kind of tells us your grades, and it has to be sealed. It cannot be open.
Okay.
You also have to have a driver's license, Social Security card, birth certificate, or if you have a visa to work in the country, you need to produce that as well. Once you have all of these documents, then you can apply to one of the apprenticeship programs. What we did is we created, the North American Building Trades Unions created an apprenticeship readiness. So this is a pre-apprenticeship program that educates you about all the trades. So when you make a decision, you're making an informed decision based off of the information that we provide you. So we'll tell you about, like I mentioned, all the plumbers, pipe fitters,
Sheet metal
electricians,
workers, elevator,
and then we have each of those unions come and present to them, to the students, and say, this is what we do, this is our benefit package. They're all different benefit packages. But all of them provide health care, additional to
Day
their
one?
wages. Day one.
Day one.
Yeah, so they get health care. Not only covers them, it covers their spouse, it covers children
Wow.
under the age of 25 under the Affordable Care Act. And they get a pension, so when they retire, like a kid that's getting out of high school at the age of 18, he's not thinking about a pension.
No. You can't.
But you're starting to accrue money in your account for your pension, so when you retire, it's there.
So they're already making money.
Yes,
They're already getting health care. They're
Yeah.
already accruing, I guess, vacation time.
they do.
They're already accruing pension.
Yeah.
And then how do they choose between the different things?
Well, we let the individuals decide their career path. We want them to stick to that path and become great at being whatever trade that they decide, because they're all great.
So let's say I want to be an electrician.
Yeah.
Trade. So then all of a sudden I go to classes for that.
Yes, you go to school and you go to work. So you're working right next to electricians that are teaching you.
Wow.
You go through 10,000 hours of on-the-job and classroom
Wow.
training before you even considered a professional in the industry. Now, once you graduate from that program, you get an apprentice. They'll give you somebody to teach, and that's how the knowledge is being transferred. Now, I'll tell you that the veterans, they get the front row seat. We give them exception because they have, they sacrificed, right? They went out and served our country. So we want to give back to them. So if we have a line for our apprenticeship, we put them in the front of the line.
How wonderful. So let me go through this again. So when you're going through the training, I'm just making this up.
Yeah.
10,000 hours. So that comes out to roughly how many?
5 years. 5 years.
So in 5 years, you go from being I don't know, is it called junior apprentice or something?
Yeah.
And then
First year apprentice.
And then you become a
journeyman.
a journeyman.
A journey person.
A journey person. And then all of a sudden, you're on your way.
Yeah, no, but you stay working, and the beauty of the union is that you can work here in Houston, which is where a lot of work is being done. We got a ton of work coming. We got a ton of work going on. Billions and billions of dollars worth of work. So we need that skilled labor, and we're reaching out to that veteran community to come belong to our ranks, because there's not a whole lot of companies that's providing health care,
Right.
pensions, education at no cost, and increasing wage rates.
Well, and
That's negotiated with our contractor partners. And I'll give it up to our contractor partners that are out there hustling, because look, they're never going to be the lowest bidder if they're paying more and they're providing all of these benefits. We need to change some of these laws to help encourage this type of bidding, because our contractors are at a disadvantage.
Well, remember, there's an old saying, you get what you pay for.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, let me go back to something, which is when you have this skill and you get to be a journey person, is that transferable? Like I could move to Arkansas.
Anywhere in the United States.
And that's it.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, you can go anywhere, and you get a certificate from the federal government saying that you went to a bona fide school, right? The federal government audits all the registered apprenticeship programs throughout the United States. And
Wow.
so that gives that value, no different than your diploma that you got from your institution.
Well, what's interesting today is I was reading an article, and some of the top universities, the Ivy League, et cetera, they are now almost $100,000 a year.
Wow.
I mean, can you imagine that?
I cannot imagine.
And even the state schools are now pushing $40,000-$50,000 a year. It used to be where that was for sort of the general public. Now it's hard to get into the state schools. They're very selective. They make you do a year or two, and then you transfer in. And of course, it's expensive now.
It is extremely
So think
expensive.
about it. It's not. I mean, look, I'm a very strong proponent of college, et cetera, but it's not for everyone, and you got to recognize it may not be for everyone. At the end of the day, you may graduate, and let's say you're at $50,000 a year for 4 years. That's $200,000 in debt, and you haven't made a dime yet, unless you work during school, in the cafeteria or something, right? But
that'll pay
that's
off.
right. Or you now have sort of already have a pathway to the middle class.
Right.
Golly, I mean,
Think about the foundation of an individual that have gone through our apprenticeship, then started their academics, right? Now you have a strong foundation, you have good work ethic, and then now you get your education. Well, that's what these big companies are looking for, somebody who has on-the-job experience. I mean, how many engineers, electrical engineers, come out of the universities and then go to work? Not very many, unless they have some kind of connection. Because they don't have the on-the-job experience. Now, had they gone through the apprenticeship program, got the hands-on, gone and got their engineering, that's exactly what they're looking for. You get the best of both worlds. You get an educated individual that has got on-the-job experience.
So what's happening in the union movement these days? Do you feel that people are recognizing that, not the value of it, but more of a, boy, we need to, I mean, there was a time it was join the union.
Right.
And there was a time then the cousins and fathers and uncles and everyone, that was the way. Join the union.
Well, this is not our grandfather's union anymore. This is a let's bring everyone we can to belong to this union, because that's where the power is. The power is in the people. So we want as many people that want to belong to the union belong to the union. We want to share the wealth that we have, the education. Look, these veterans that are coming through here, all of our programs that we have are all veteran approved.
Wow.
Right? And what that means, they can use their GI Bill because it's at no cost to the veteran. They don't have to pay for college like they would.
Right.
They can use that money to pay themselves, so they can actually earn a journeyman rate of pay at their first year instead of having to make what a first year apprentice would do. And as they get increases as they pass their classes, then the amount of GI Bill money will reduce. And then by the time they're, a journey person, because some of these programs are 3, 4 to 5 year long. So depending on what
great deal.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Hold that thought. We have is there Ernie on the line? Ernie, are you there?
Yes.
Ernie, you have me, Gilbert Garcia, with a tip from me with Mr. Paul Puente. What do you got for us today?
Well, thank you first for acknowledging our veterans. As you know, it's Veterans Day tomorrow. And Gilbert, you do an excellent job in making our community happy about the sacrifices other people have made for the betterment of others. And that's something you do every day. And Mr. Puente, thank you for acknowledging the importance of unions, because when you look at our Gen Zs today, they're not even thinking about that. They want to hop around the world. They don't want to be in any stagnant place. So you're talking about a program that will allow them to really generate a future, but at the same time, recognize that not everybody is going to go to college. And I hate that thought, because I'm a true believer in a higher education. My best years of my life were in college, but I recognize that there is opportunity for others that may not choose that route. And so thank you for being such a believer in opportunity for all. I really appreciate your comments today.
Thank you. I appreciate that as well. Thank you for your comments as well. And you're right. I mean, not everyone's, I guess, can afford to go to college. And if you can't afford to go to college, look at us. Come to us and join our ranks, and then we'll put you to work. We'll provide you benefit. We'll provide you. It's a mentor protege type of an environment. You have a professional that's educating the future, and they're willing to do that. They want to do that because they understand that those individuals will become a professional in the industry. It's going to help all the work that we've got coming up in the Houston Gulf Coast region.
Well, Ernie, do you have any
Thank
union,
you.
any background of
Yes.
union for you and your family?
Yes, my dad is a union member. He worked for the post office for over 40 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Raised 10 kids.
Nice.
And so he was really a benefactor of the unions because when, he was a language speaker for the post office, he forced them to elevate the pay. He said, I speak a language and I came from the military and I know everything about electrical engineering and you're using my talent and I want you to pay me for it. My dad was very outspoken.
Wow.
So-
Outstanding.
Is he still
I
with us?
appreciate it.
Is he still with us?
No, I lost my dad, but I did not lose his momentum. I think about him every day, especially when the veterans, because he would walk around the city and ride metro with my mom and say, I'm a veteran. Hey, I'm a veteran. He'd wear his hat and, because you would get like an extra pie or something.
He sounds
I
like
love it, love
he
it.
sounds like a hell of a man.
I'm a veteran.
Awesome.
And,
Awesome.
And tomorrow, the mayor is having a proclamation for all veterans downtown at City Hall. I'll be there.
Awesome.
And they're also going to be doing a parade talking about the importance of serving the veterans, giving them opportunities, just like you are doing, Mr. Puente. And they are going to be talking about also the food ratio that is in denial in Houston right now for veterans. So I want to applaud Gilbert because he always makes donations
Thank
to
you,
the
team.
veterans. And he also, let me tell you something new that he's been doing, and he's going to do it for Thanksgiving. He is helping kids' meals.
Oh, that's
He
awesome, bro.
made a generous donation for kids' meals because you've got a lot of people who do not have, like you said, the SNAP is running dry, and the whole government situation that we're in right now with locking down the government, it's ridiculous. And we all are having to suffer knowing that somebody, our neighbor or someone else is suffering. So I applaud you, Gilbert, for helping kids' meals. I know that we're going to make a day for donation where we go over there and make the meals ourselves. And I know Gilbert wants to be a part of that. I really would like to see Gilbert making a meal for a kid. I really would.
I'll do it. I'm going to do
Yeah.
it. Ernie,
I know you will. And I just think, honestly, today's conversation is so important that it supports everything we're talking about in this country about depriving people of their rights and their needs. I just think that's what America's about, and it's sad that we're not there yet.
And Ernie, today they're having a career fair for veterans over at the NRG Stadium. So
how great.
So it's called the Hire Red, White, and You.
Oh, how wonderful.
Yeah, what a great tag. This is with the our local workforce. I serve on the workforce board, but Juliet Stepech and her team put this thing together. They have about 3,600 people that are going to go out there these are all veterans that are looking
Wow.
for employment. I have a lot of our local unions that have booths out there, the booth, so they can get a lot of information about all the apprenticeship information regarding veterans and our pre-apprenticeship program. And just Dale and Juan Granados and the team out there, they're working really hard in getting this information to the public.
Very
Oh,
good.
wonderful. I know Juan. It's going to be, if he has anything to do with it, it's going to be great. So
Ah.
thank you for letting us know.
Well, Ernie, thank you for calling in. And you know what? Your father sounds like a hell of a man. And you know what? The apple doesn't fall too far from the tree.
Amen.
So, you're making your daddy proud.
I hope so, and I appreciate that. And let's keep it going, Gilbert, for this community because we need you right now.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, we're already in Christmas mode. Everybody's got their lights up. We can't even get through Thanksgiving. So thanks first.
I appreciate that. Well, thank you so much, Ernie, for calling in.
Talk to you soon.
All righty.
Bye.
Well, I went to see my daughter in Chicago, and she saw her first snow last night. And, of course, it was really for Chicago flurries.
Yes.
But she sent us all these pictures, and she's all excited. And, of course, She's cold. She's
Yeah,
cold.
yeah, she's cold.
She's cold. But my beautiful daughter is there, and you, Chicago. We have another. Actually, I think we have one or two more callers. Is there a Daisy on the line?
Yes, Gilbert, can you hear me?
I can, Daisy. What do you got
Hi,
for me with a
Gilbert.
tip
Good
from
morning.
me? And you got Paul Puente. What do you got for us on this early Monday morning?
Good morning, Gilbert. Well, congratulations to Paul Puente. He's doing a great work in the community, and thank you, Gilbert, for having such an informative show. The reason of my call is because on this coming Thursday, you are getting an award from the Salvadorian community for your support. For your support to our community. We are having a concert with Alvaro Torres, which is an Grammy award-winning singer, and we have a concert at 7:30 p.m. Of course, everybody that is listening is invited to join us. You will be receiving an award for your hard work and your commitment to our community.
how
Great
wonderful.
job. Great job.
Thank you. And this is going to be
Thank you.
where? Let's give us all the details.
Yes, this is going to be at Stafford Center. You know, the Stafford Center was built by Mayor Escarcela. It's a beautiful place in the city of Stafford, and the concert is going to start at 7:30 all the way to 11 p.m. And we are recognizing leaders that are helping in the community, the Latino community, the Salvadorian. You know, we are 600,000 Salvadorians in Harris County, and we are grateful for the support, Gilbert, that you always offer to our community since the beginning.
Well, I appreciate that. Stafford Center, I have not been there, but I hear it's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Yeah, I hear it's beautiful. And like, how many people does that fit? Is that like a 3,000, 5,000 type?
The place holds 1,300,
Okay.
400 people. Yes.
That's wonderful. But it's like real modern, right?
Yeah, it's a real, it has all that new technology, is being remodeled. Mayor Escarcela did a great job building the whole place. The community have free parking.
Wow.
And so everybody's invited, and we are going to honor you, Gilbert. And
what
I
a
hope
thrill.
you can join us. And once again, we are grateful for your support that you always give to our community, and especially in these hard times that everybody's going to tough times. We recognize your commitment to us.
Well, thank you for that. You know, the Mayor Garcetti, is he with us or no?
No,
He
he's
passed,
no longer
right?
with us.
Yeah.
Yes.
But he must have been the mayor for 30, 40
Yeah.
years, right?
50 years.
50 years?
50 years.
Oh, my
Yes.
goodness.
He
wow.
was in power for 50 years, and Stafford City, you know, they never paid taxes during he was on power. He passed away, and now I guess for the first time the community is paying taxes. But he was a great mayor that keep the city moving forward.
Wonderful, wonderful. So one more time, it's Thursday. It's going to be
This coming
the
Thursday, yes.
13th at the Stafford Center, and it's
Yes.
at 7 p.m. And where can people buy tickets?
Yes, we are selling the tickets at Stafford Center. They have, I can put it on the screen so people can see, and we'll share online e-ticket where they can buy the tickets online. They have a special sale this weekend. I think they're still going on until Thursday, so everybody is invited. We're also helping some students and seniors that are not able to pay for the tickets. We have some people donating, so we have some tickets to give away.
Wonderful.
If they call you show, Gilbert, if they call you show, they can have some tickets.
Call in, everybody, remember, and just say, I want to go to the show on Thursday, and you can call in to, I'm going to do it one more time, 832-570-8075.
Yes, they can call you show and they can have some tickets. We are supporting mental health. All the donations are to support the community. And I thank you again, Gilbert, for always supporting us.
Thank you so much, Daisy, for calling in, and we wish you great success Thursday.
God bless you.
And to you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Before we go to our next caller, I want to just mention that, you know, times like these, when I get hungry, I go get me a carne asada taco, at Laredo Taqueria, because you know what? It is the best carne guisada in town. And if you don't know what that is, you know what? Think of it as chunks of meat and like a stewy gravy that you can put on your tortillas, on your bread, or just with a spoon, because that's how thick and delicious it is. I mean, I love that place.
I love that place.
I love that place.
They always have the best morning tacos.
Right.
I mean, they're up early making them. And they're delicious.
They are so great. So Taqueria, well, Laredo Taqueria, it's fantastic. So keep going. I have one more caller here, and then I want to get back to some. I want to talk a little bit as you get your thoughts together about just collective bargaining and what has that meant for this country. But let's get Isidro Garza. Isidro, are you there?
Yes. How you doing, Mayor?
I love you. I'm doing well. Thank you so much, Mr. Isidro Garza. You've got me, Gilbert Garcia, tip for me, with Paul Puente. We're talking about veterans. We're talking about the apprentice programs at some of the building trades. We're talking a lot today. What do you got for us?
Well, it's Mr. Puente. I admire your work.
Thank you.
I go back to Cesar Chavez. And Antonio Rondine, who was the Texas farm workers.
Yes.
And at the same time as Cesar Chavez, and I had the honor of marching with Cesar Chavez in California, in Calexico, and that collective bargaining, how he brought that tremendous change. We were farm workers, and that's why I was just automatically a part of the union.
Yes, sir.
But what caused the change of me being in the fields with my mother and my sisters, and my brothers, and when they had to go to use the restroom, there were no facilities, so they looked for a place to take care of their needs.
God, that's unbelievable. That's just unbelievable.
And that's what collective bargaining does. You negotiate for.
These are basic human rights.
Basic human rights,
My
exactly.
goodness.
Raises, working conditions.
Yep.
All of that is important. And the best part about it is that you have a voice in your union.
Hold that thought, because Isidro, please finish your thought there. I apologize to you.
No, and as you move forward, you know how effective he was with specifically grapes.
Yes.
And not only was here in the United States, but he even went to England, and there was just like the Boston Tea Party, there was a dumping of grapes. That caught the international attention, and they came to the bargaining table. The owners of the ranches and farmers, and I remember one of the first marches that I made where one of the guys that were in our ranks got killed in Calexico by the lettuce owner. Not himself. He sent another Mexicano to kill him, but after the owner had warned him, if you continue talking to each other, you're going to have consequences, and they killed him. And so every year in Calexico we march, in memory of him. But so it's taken the maximum of sacrifice to get some progress, but we have a long ways to go. And it is your unions, and I'm proud of you and what you stand for. Somos nosotros de uniones, somos de familia. La familia unida jamás será vencida, and that is the unity that the unions. Just by the word itself, union. Unidos.
Boy, those are powerful words there, Isidro, and we are so glad that you shared them with us. You know, talk a little bit, and stay with us, Isidro, if you don't mind. Paul, talk a little bit about collective bargaining. Just explain to our listeners what that means, because until you had that, workers didn't have really any way to negotiate with the management and things of that nature.
Their employers.
Talk about it.
So the collective bargaining, a lot of times it's heard as a CBA. It's an acronym, collective bargaining agreement. The key word here is agreement. It is an agreement between the worker and their employers, right? This agreement is negotiated by all of these different terms. And once it's signed by both parties, they abide by those that agreement, and they're lawful. It's a contract. And how many times workers are out there working right now today without any contract? Not one employer or one company goes into a negotiation with another company without having some type of document that says we agree to these terms. Whether you rent equipment, whether you're going to do some construction work for a firm, or all of them have an agreement, some type of contract. And there should be one for the workforce. And that's what this collective bargaining agreement does. It ensures that restrooms, water, breaks, lunch, just the way you treat the worker, to ensure that they have the proper PPE, that they, and then the employer also has their rights, because it's not all just workers. It's both. It's an agreement between two parties, an employer party and a contractor. And once that is ratified, then there is no line. We're a partnership. We're a marriage. Mm-hmm. We have come together, and we're going to finish a job. We're going to do it right the first time without any issues, without any safety issues. And I think that's what the important part about, having a collective bargaining agreement is, these employers get a skilled worker. They also get a worker who has an understanding of their responsibilities to get a job done and get it done correctly. And the worker at the same time also gets health care, they get pensions, they get, all that's in the agreement. All that's in there.
And, and it's all part of the whole process of raising people's standards of living.
Right.
And that's good for everyone, because if more people can make more money doing a great skill, well, then they have more money to spend on other things, and that's what makes this whole economy work. Well, and so people shouldn't look at it like, oh, well, then the cost of this is going to go higher. No, it's the other way around. By getting more people involved and being productive society benefits as a whole.
Right.
And that's the key. But see, I'm going to give you the last word there.
Just want to add something to that.
Yes,
is
please.
That I can tell you that a lot of these young men and women that are learning about unions today, all of these benefits that I talked to you about, we didn't always have them, and they were fought for. Just like Isidro was talking about, Cesar Chavez, a ton of folks within our labor movement is still fighting. But these benefits were fought for through blood, sweat, and tears. And when you join a union, you already have them. So you don't understand the struggle it was to get what we have today and what we continue to fight for tomorrow. And I think that's the education that needs to be brought out. And today we're talking about veterans, and a lot of our freedom was fought because of their sacrifice.
That's right.
And we want to make sure that people who are a part of this country, wherever you come from, understand that this freedom was fought through sacrifice. And it should be understood that, this is a country we all love, and we support. That's why we give so much support towards the veterans and acknowledge them. So.
Amen for that. Isidro, you have a last word?
Yes, thank you. I must mention Rufino Contreras. He was the gentleman that got killed in Calexico, trying to just get together with the people there for collective bargaining. And the center of Cesar Chavez was really not a leader of the unions. The center of Cesar Chavez and people like Mr. Puente is human dignity and respectable living wage. Mexico, Claudia Sheinbaum Pardo, she says, in order for the general public to do good, first come the poor. First come the workers.
Amen to that. Isidro, unfortunately, I'm going to be having to cut you off early. I appreciate you so much. I do hope you call in again. Paul Puente, you have 30 seconds. Look into that camera and tell us, how can everybody get involved? Isidro, thank you so much. Call again. Go to HoustonBuildingTrades.com
right now. Go to arpmc3.com right now. You'll find us. Come look for us because we've been waiting for you.
All right, Houston, Harris County, this is Gilbert Garcia with another episode for me saying, go get some carne guisada. Go get it. Taqueria Laredo. You can't miss it. Thank you, and we'll see you next time. All right, Houston, Harris County, this is Gilbert Garcia of A Tip from Gilbert, Talk, Inspiration, and Prayer. We're going to now be on television. We will air every Saturday on Comcast 17, AT&T Channel 99, Phonoscope Channel 96, Suddenlink 99, and also hmstv.org. Every new episode every Saturday at 7 p.m.
And follow me on social media. See you then.